Mesechus Chagigah daf Chof Hey. The Gemara explained that the Mishnah says that biyehuda Tameih Nemon on Tyrus, Yain and Shem and Kol Yimos Hashana, and the Gemara is medayik. Why specifically are they Nemon in Yehuda and Golul? And the Gemara explains because there was a retzua that was mafsik between Yehuda and Golul. They had Tumah's eretz ha'amim, so therefore from Golul they were not Nemon. Tosis asks, since there's a ritzua between Golul and Yehuda that has a tumah of eretz ha'amim, so therefore, how could it be that Klal Yisrael was the regel from Golul? If they go from Golul to Yehuda, they'll become Tameih from this ritzua, and how could they be mekayim the mitzvah or the regalim? The Turi Evan asks, they don't understand what Tosis Kash is, although they become Tameih, they'll go a little earlier, and they'll be matar themselves before Yom Tiv. The Adavid says that Tosis understood it's not mistarver, that it would have to be mevatim malachtam such a long time in order for them to matar themselves before Yom Tiv. The Chazon Ish says a tremendous hekdish to answer Tosis. He says, although it was possible for them to matar themselves before Yom Tiv, he says, since they became Tameih, when they went over the ritzua, they had Tumah's eretz ha'amim, so therefore they became Tameih. And when someone's become Tameih, he's not mechuyev and aliyah regel b'chal. It's not the pshat that he's mechuyev with oinus, but he's not considered a bar chiyuv b'chal, like it's before in the Gemara before on the Dalet and Beit, that is a posuk to remind the Tameih from riah. So therefore, once they became Tameih, they're not mechuyev aliyah regel b'chlal. So that is kasha. How would they mekayim the mitzvahs aliyah regel? And he says it's similar to someone that doesn't have a beged of dalet kanfis, that he's not mechuyev in mitzvahs tzitzis. Although at b'iden rischas mevur the Gemara menachas the b'amalef b'iden rischam and shinon, if he doesn't put on a beged dalet kanfis, but he's considered larba chiyuva in the mitzvah of aliyah the regel. Then the Chazon Ish says that it could be since Tumah's eretz ha'amim is only in the Rabbanon, so he's considered a mechuyev in the mitzvah of aliyah the regel midiraisa, so maybe he could be considered a bar chiyuva. And the Chazon Ish says further, he is mechuyev in simcha, which he won't be able to mekayim if he's Tameih. So he's considered a bar chiyuv and simcha, so maybe considered there's a bar chiyuv and aliyah regel as well. And he says it could be huadin. If someone doesn't have karka, is considered a bar chiyuv and is mechuyev to buy karka to mekayim himself in the mitzvah of aliyah regel. Ibn Yashiv and his oris is matmi on this Chazon Ish. He says the whole Zayas HaKosov which you learn out, the Tameih is part from riah. It's specifically in regard to the korban riah. However, the aliyah l'regel is not learned out from a pasuk. It's not nesmayed from a pasuk, and that the part is only because of oinus. So therefore, a Tameih should definitely be considered a mechuyev in the mitzvah of aliyah l'regel. Now, Rabbi Yashiv continues that b'emes yesh lachkor is someone mechuyev before the Zman HaMitzvah to be nischayiv in the mitzvah that's going to come the Yodel Achazman. He says the Bemes Chayodam clears the Shaila and he brings a riah from Gemara, like we mentioned in Rosh Hashanah Flamadalid, that if there's two cities and one the Mevorich on Rosh Hashanah and one the Toikin, and the Chayodam asks, how could it be that those in the city that the Mevorich didn't go to the city that has a shofar before Rosh Hashanah? So he says, Akoch Yisi, you're not mechuyev to nischayiv yourself in the mitzvah before the Zman HaChiyev. Rabbi Yashiv says he doesn't understand what the riah is. It could be he's talking about a situation that he can't come to the other city before Rosh Hashanah. But Rabbi Yashiv brings a riah from Gemara in Sukkot Daf Chof Hey that's mevur by Noshim Shal Yutmeim Tameih Meis at this time of Pesach, and only because they're oisik b'mitzvah, they put them in a mitzvah, therefore they were not mechuyev to be nischayiv themselves in the korban Pesach. However, without oisik b'mitzvah, put the mitzvah, they're mechuyev to be nischayiv in the mitzvah even before the Zman HaChiyev. Ayin oid shir in Psachim Daf Gimel we brought Machlekes Tzlach and Minchas Chinuch v'Ayin Sham. Moving further on, Rav Vosner Zocher Nevach and Shuva Shevet Levi was asked, how could Koyanim go from Golul to Yehuda b'Zman Hazeh, since there is a Tumah of Eretz Ha'amim and Smavur in Yeridea, that Koyanim can't be Metama in Eretz Ha'amim, so how could they go from Golul to Yehuda b'Zman Hazeh? So Vosner says the answer is that although there is a Tumah of Eretz Amim, it could be Chazal weren't goyzer the Gabe Koyanim on Tumas Eretz Amim on this retzua. They were goyzer specifically in Chutz La'aretz for Koyanim and not in Eretz Yisrael, because he says you find many kulas the Gabe the Tumah of Eretz Amim that's mutal tamud var mitzvah and a covered abrius. And then Shevet Levi continues that be'emes that there's a Tumah on this ritzua between Yehuda and Golul doesn't have a din of Eretz Amim mamish. The Tumah of Eretz Amim is mavur. That's because of the Mesim in the Mabul, which only died in Chutz La'aretz and not in Eretz Yisrael, or because of Reb Klal Yisrael that died in Chutz La'aretz not in Eretz Yisrael. So the be'emes doesn't pass the Iker halacha of Tumah and Eretz Amim in this ritzua, and rather the whole Tumah is because of Maduras hakusim, and when there's kusim, you have to be choishish, they were craving the fallen, so therefore there's a Tumah, and he says that specifically at the time that there's kusim that are living in the area, there's a Tumah on Eretz Amim. However, after the kusim leave, although it's mavur, the Maduras ha'akum that was chorav, nevertheless, it's mavur in the Mishnah that a ear shall goyim shachorav aim by mishum maduras akum. So you see that it's choluk when an entire city of goyim is wiped out, the area loses the din tumah machmas maduras akum. So it's miyoshev hativ. Since over here the whole tumah in this ritzua machmas Eretz Amim is not the regular locha of Eretz Amim of Chutz La'aretz, rather it's a din mesuyim because of maduras akum. So therefore, since there's no more goyim living in this area, it doesn't have a tumah. And he says, even though Rashi is mashma that this ritzua had a status like Chutz La'aretz mamish, he says near that Rashi also agrees that the din Eretz Amim, this ritzua is not the regular halacha. All of the Eretz Amim that we find in Chutz La'aretz, rather it's a gzeir mesuyim, since it's teich tchum of Eretz Yisrael. And therefore, Bisman said it's mutter. Moving for the Gemara asks, why can't they bring the kachim into Yehuda in the klicheres hamuk of Bitzamid apostle? And the Gemara says, ein hekdish nitzal of Bitzamid apostle. The Mikdash David declares, what's the get of this halacha that kodesh not nitzal? Mukiv Tumah apostle. Is it pshat? It's similar to that one they find that by hekdish it has a choymer that even the gav of klicheres it's mitam megaboy. So therefore, since it has a tumah megaboy, so therefore a mukiv Tumah apostle will not be matzil kodshim because the gav becomes tam the gav kodshim. But the Mikdash David says if that's the case, that will pertain specifically to Klicheres, and why couldn't the Gemara say you put in the Kliyavonim, Lam Kabal Tumah, even Megabo? You see, Mikdash David says, the answer is, the Akorcha is a different Geder, it's a Geder Mesuyim, that the halacha of Mukiv Tumah apostle doesn't pertain to Kodesh Bechlal, and it's as if it's Teich the Avir of the Eretz Amim, and therefore it's Tameih.